Here we are, folks. Frank Andrus along with Frank Disco and Dan Chenefield bringing you the play-by-play for the Turkey Day, Thanksgiving Day game. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody in the booth here this evening, or I should say this afternoon.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Frank. It looks like it's going to be a cold one in Agawam.
Very, very cold. And yes. The Agawam Brownies really looking forward to a victory here this afternoon. We just found out for a big piece of information that Eric Nunez not going to be in the game this afternoon. Eric Nunez, of course, probably one of the best, or one of the three best backs in Western Mass right at this point, not playing. So Agawam knew they had to key on two players, Steve Mayforth and Eric Nunez. Now they only have to worry about Steve Nunez and, of course, their quarterback, Josh Blizzard.
Well, that's going to be a little bit of a hindrance to West Springfield, I believe. But Mr. Nunez was injured, and I think what they're trying to do, seeing West Springfield did, in fact, make the Super Bowl, 3-4 games ago. It's kind of interesting to be able to tie up your Super Bowl season 3/4 of the way through your season, but West Springfield was able to do that. So consequently, I think what they're saying is, hey, this is really, and I don't want to say it, but I'm not going to say it. This is an important game, but not as important as the Super Bowl to West Springfield.
Well, of course, West Springfield taking nothing away from them. They've had a couple of bad streaks in their last few games, and that always sits not very well when you're going into the playoffs or a Super Bowl in this point for the West Springfield Terriers. So hopefully Agawam will spoil their Thanksgiving Day today and put them in a bad mood going into that Super Bowl against Central.
Well, for one thing, Frank, I hope that Agawam was definitely able to upset West Springfield's turkey, because they were able to do it last year in some very not so nice weather. We got thoroughly soaked. Today, we're going to get frostbitten. So we're going to have to figure out who's going to run for the hot chocolate.
Oh, no doubt about it, being cold up here this afternoon. Or I should say, I keep saying this afternoon because we're used to doing the afternoon games. I've got to remind myself that it is 10:30 in the morning and quite cold. Frank, we're going to take a break here and pause for these commercial messages. We'll bring you back here. Smithfield, the action Thanksgiving Day game. And Frank, we're going to take a pause while the Agawam Marching Mohawks and the Terrier Marching Band combine for the national anthem. Job by both of the bands from the Agawam Marching Mohawks and the West Springfield Terrier Marching Band. And we're just about set to begin. The captains will be taking the field very shortly, and we've got a very big crowd on hand.
This crowd, Frank, is probably going to top somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000, maybe even 6,000 people. I don't think our camera's going to be able to give it to you, but there's a line all the way out past the basketball courts, out into the parking lot to get into this stadium. This is unbelievable for football. But the weather is conducive to football. It's nice out. It's cold, but it's nice out.
Captain's getting ready to take the field, Frank. 49 you saw on the side, Chris Benjamin. 13, Dan Moriarty. 53, Joe Bianca. For the Terriers, 21, Steve Mayforth. 50, Eric Fenton. 32, Eric Peterson, and 74, Brian Frederick. And Frank, let's listen while the referee gets set for the coin toss.
Okay, gentlemen, the clock is official, so there will be no 2-minute warning at the end of the half or at the end of the game. You understand that? Okay, in the event of a penalty, I'd like you to have your captain come over to me so I have to go looking for him. If you don't understand the option I give you, please ask me and I will repeat it to you so that nobody will make a mistake. You got that? Okay, Mr. Neff is going to be your umpire. Mr. Nolette is the field judge. Mr. Fairley is the linesman. Okay, West Springfield, who's going to do the talking? Okay, call a Waltz in here. If I drop him, we're going to pick it up and do it over again, all right? Okay, you called ahead. Okay, it's a tail. Agawam, you've won. You want the first and half choice. You're going to take the ball. You're going to be kicking or goal. You want to defend. So you're going to kick this way. Okay, you want to stand over there?
Well, Frank, there you see it. The Agawam Brownies have won the coin toss and have elected to receive. And the Agawam Brownies will start out offensively to get this thing underway.
Well, that was a very, very good example and explanation of what goes on at the coin toss. That is probably the best that you're ever going to get it. You don't even get that in the pros.
No, you don't. No, you certainly don't. Big huddle on the sideline for both of the clubs. A very important game. We talked about Eric Nunez for the West Springfield Terriers not playing in today's game. If we had to say, how is Agawam going to win this game? Well, they're going to have to do it a couple of ways. They've got to stop the the West Springfield Terrier offense, and that starts with Josh Blizzard, the quarterback, and then go out to their outside guy, and that's Steve Mayforth. And if Agawam can do that, they could be very successful. What does West Springfield have to do? Hey, they've got to do it. They've got to stop 44 Jason Vatsekis coming out of the backfield, and a very mobile quarterback in Dan Moriarty.
Well, definitely Jason's going to be a major factor in this game, and it should prove, and I hope it works out, that Agawam does come out on top.
Well, 81, Sam Hoffman getting set. He places the ball on the tee for the West Springfield Terriers as we are seconds away from probably one of the biggest rivalries that you'll see around, the Agawam Brownies and West Springfield Terriers. And Frank, anybody that's a Brownie and anybody that's a Terrier is here today as we are underway at Harmon Smith Field. The ball takes a bounce, picked up there by Moriarty. Out of your screen for a moment. Here comes Moriarty through the middle, gets to the outside. He followed the screen perfect. Moriarty's got one person to beat. He's down the sidelines. He could go all the way, and no! Moriarty caught from behind by 24. Sean Lyman, but 81 yards. Dan Moriarty on the opening kickoff.
I wish I could have seen, or I wish our viewers could have seen what Dan did prior to running into our screen. But he received the ball, did his tradition, cut to the outside, had everybody moving in the wrong direction, froze two defenders, and just scooted right up the field. Phenomenal type of running.
And what a way to start things off for the Agawam Brownies. Dan Moriarty, 81 yards on the opening kickoff, and the Brownies will have it in great field position. First and goal on the Terriers' 7-yard line.
That's kind of a nice way to bust a bubble, or excuse me, baste your turkey.
Yep. Moriarty hands the ball off to Vatsekis. He got stacked up there by a host of Terriers. He maybe picked up one. It's going to bring up second down and goal from the 6-yard line. The Agawam Brownies looking to score first. Would be a big letdown for the Terriers if Agawam could get on the board this quickly to start the game off.
I want my hot chocolate, Frank. I'm cold. I want it now.
Halftime. And Frank, we got a penalty upcoming, and it's going to be a motion call against the Agawam Brownies, and that's going to back them up 5 yards.
Second down.
There you hear the referee. It's going to be second and goal from the 11-yard line as Dan Moriarty on the sideline in your picture talking it over with Coach Veccarelli. And we'll see what type of play that they're going to come up with here on second and goal from the 11-yard line.
very vocal crowd out here today, Frank.
Oh, a very large crowd indeed. Hands off to 44, Vatsakis, and a nice tackle by 14, Randy Miller. As he hit Vatsakis low on the tops of the shoes, and the Agawam Brownies will be faced third down.
Well, that's basically the only way you're going to be able to tackle Jason. If you hit him from the waist down, you stand a fighting chance. If you hit him from the waist up, he's going to take you with him.
Oh, no doubt about it. We've seen that all year in 44. Jason Vatsakis, probably one of the most versatile backs that we've seen in Western Mass in quite a while. And if you don't hit him, as a matter of fact, I shouldn't even say one person. Most of the time, you've got to gang tackle him. Third down for the Brownies. Across the middle, in and out of the hands to Bob Kunkel. Sean Lyman of the coverage, number 24. And the Brownies faced fourth down. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen here. And I think Brian Anderson, there he is on the top of the screen on your right-hand side. Brian Anderson is going to be out, and they're going to attempt a field goal. And from this distance, it is about 27-yard field goal for Brian Anderson. Kick is up and no good. There you see the Terriers in jubilation as they have started off the Agawam Brownie attack. Starting it out 81 yards, Moriarty. The Brownies can't punch it home. And then the miss by Brian Anderson, Frank, and the Terriers will have it 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
Oh, Brian's exceptionally upset on that. He's been hitting some decent field goals all year. This was one that he definitely probably wanted to get in order to put some points on the board. So now it's up to the defense to see if, in fact, they're able to come down and stop West Springfield.
Well, West Springfield getting to the outside. Number 14, Randy Miller, trying to turn the corner, and then knocked out of bounds by number 12, Bobby Magistri. And I think there is going to be a penalty on the play, Frank. I saw some laundry down on the line of scrimmage.
Well, it looks like it kind of happened behind the line a little bit, and it looks like it's probably going to go against West Springfield.
Well, they're talking it over out there, and someone may have jumped, and that could be an illegal procedure call. Frank, there's a penalty against the West Springfield Terriers.
Number 50, he said.
A little added commentary from the referee.
Use of the hands on the offense. Still first down. First down.
All right, so we've got an illegal use of the hands against the West Springfield Terriers. It'll still be first down. It's going to be 1st and 17 from about the 13-yard line. Blizzard now hands off to number 44, Alan Barron, across the right-hand side. Just got stacked up by that Agawam defense. Number 49 leading the way, Chris Benjamin. It's going to bring up 2nd down for the Terriers.
As everybody can see right now, Frank, it is cold out there. All these players who are out there right now, they've played 4 or 5 plays. As they come back to the huddle, looks like they're steam engines.
I mean, you've got to be here to really believe how cold it is here at Harmon Smith Field. It is just bad. The field is frozen. We had a chance to step out onto the field, and it was very, very hard. 44 off the left-hand side. Alan Barron once again stacked up by 64, Ben Auld, and 89, Brian King. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 for West Springfield.
Our designated coffee man just came.
Hey, Bobby, you're
You came into the booth at the wrong time, Bobby Newman. Nice to have you, and happy Thanksgiving Day to you, too.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you also, Frank. Pleasure to be here.
So you are going to buy the coffee, right?
I'll not only buy the coffee, I'll furnish the blackberry brandy, too.
Reverse play by the Terriers. Randy Miller on the outside, up the left-hand side. Still on his feet, and then finally dragged down by 89, Brian King, but not before a Terrier first down.
89, Brian King.
27-yard gain by Randy Miller.
We're familiar with Mr. Miller. He's haunted Agawam for a number of years, and they're definitely going to have to put the stop on Randy. Once he gets to the outside, he throws in the jets. He's a tough man to catch.
Blizzard on the handoff to 24. Sean Lyman to the outside and just driven out of bounds once again by Dan Moriarty. A big play by Moriarty as Sean Lyman. He had trouble trying to turn a corner. And another Terrier first down, 1st and 10 from the 34. So the Terriers moving against the Brownie defense on their first offensive possession. And it looks like they want to talk about it. With the score, 0-0. You're watching Agawam Sports Week, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. The traditional rivalry between the Agawam Brownies and the West Springfield Terriers. No score here. And how do you see this game shaping up so far?
Don't everybody speak all at once.
Yeah, I know. Well, in that case, we'll get right into the play. 44, straight ahead, Alan Barron. Finally knocked down by 63, Jeff Campbell, but not before he picks up 6 yards. 2nd and 4 from the 28-yard line.
Oh, in answer to your question, Frank, Agawam was able to do a nice punt return, get down to the 6-yard line, and basically got stalled. Right now, West Springfield picked the ball up on the 20 after the missed field goal, has marched down the field, and is making progress. Is it an indication? I don't know. We'll see how much further they can go.
Alan Barron straight ahead and then knocked down by his own man. I don't think an Agawam Brownie touched number 44, Alan Barron, as he hit his own man and fell down. But he picked up 2 yards on the miscue. 3rd and 2 from the 26-yard line.
I'm surprised anybody's really out there. They're moving around pretty good. They're starting to work up a little bit of a sweat, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know if these guys are even going to be able to crack a sweat.
You're right. I don't know if that's possible on a day like today, but you never know until you're out there playing. Handoff, once again, 44, Alan Barron tries the right-hand side of the Brownie line. Stacked up by 77, Jason Rossi, and number 60, Chris Demastri.
Well, they tried the same shot twice, Frank. Tried to work on Jason Rossi. They're not making too much yardage through that side of the line. That's a tough wall to try to crack.
Certainly is. They pick up the first down on the Barron plunge off the right-hand side. And the Terriers will have it 1st and 10 from the 22. Josh Blizzard pitch out to 24, Sean Lyman. Big stick by Bobby Magistri. Number 12 on that side. He caused the fumble. And the Agawam Brownies 63, Jeff Campbell comes up with it.
I'll tell you, Frank, that is a big play by number 12, Bobby Magistri. West side keeps running that sweep on the left side, and Bobby's right there all the time stopping them. Plays like that can really boost the club. Now Agawam's got to come back out here and move the football.
Well, no doubt about it, Bobby. A big play by Bob Magistri, and the Agawam Brownies get the big turnover. You couldn't ask for it to happen at a better time, and they'll have it 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line.
I want my hot chocolate.
Have you seen that line?
I don't care. I want my hot chocolate.
I can't leave right now. This game's too interesting here. We'll have to wait till halftime.
I don't blame you. Pitch to Vatsakis, stacked up by the Terrier defense. Pickup of about 4 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 6 from the 25-yard line.
It still hasn't got any warmer either.
Oh, no, it hasn't. And, of course, our only salvation is this is our last game of the football season, and then we'll move indoors.
Oh, yeah, to a hockey rink.
Well, that sounds a little better to me, though. But actually, we've been lucky so far this year. The weather hasn't been bad at all.
And you guys came on with us this year. You should have been with us last year. You might have quit real quick. Handoff once again to Jason Vatsakis. Does a good job. He almost was caught in the backfield and finally hit there by number 2, Dan Webster. And that should be enough for a Brownie first down, depending upon where they spot the ball.
Well, the referees have been real quick with this one, Frank. I think they're kind of on the nippy side also. They've been spotting the ball very, very rapidly and trying to move this game along as quickly as they go. Right now, we got 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the first quarter, so it's moving along rather rapidly.
1st and 10 on the Jason Vatsakis carry. Dan Moriarty up to the line of scrimmage. Once again, we want to remind you, you're watching Agawam Sports Week. Happy Thanksgiving. Frank Andrus, along with Frank Disco, Danny Shenefield, and Bob Newman at Harmon Smith Field. Pitch off to 44, Vatsakis across the right-hand side, picks up decent yardage. finally knocked out of bounds by 21 Steve Mayforth, and he'll be short of the first down. That's going to bring up second down and short for the Brownies.
He's just got a good shot of the coaching staff down there. They're all wearing gloves and earmuffs. That's not fair.
Yeah, but the players aren't cold. I was down there earlier, and after the first hit, everybody gets a little wound down, and they're playing good ball now. Like I said earlier here, I think you see Agawam starting to move the football here. They're giving Von Seca some good room. I think you're going to see something happen here, Frank.
Well, hopefully you'll be right on second down and short for the Brownies. 38, Steve Lanier in motion. Handoff to Vatsekis across the left-hand side, and just tripped up by 32, Eric Peterson, and that should be plenty for a first down. First and 10 from the 46-yard line for the Agawam Brownies.
Well, look at number 77. I'll tell you, he's big, isn't he?
Well, you know, earlier in the day I saw 77 standing next to you, Bobby, and I'll tell you, I mean,
well, number 13 is big next to the cheerleaders are big next to me.
You said it, I didn't.
When we were up in Northampton filming, I was filming the cheerleaders. I had to look up to them.
First and 10 from the 46-yard line for the Agawam Brownies as they are on the march. We have no score here at the Thanksgiving Day game here at Harmon Smith Field. Moriarty getting set to call the play from the line of scrimmage. Once again, 38, Steve Lanier in motion. Moriarty back to pass, and incomplete, no, complete to Jason Vatsekis. Hit there by 44, Alan Barron, and number 24, Sean Lyman. It's going to bring up second and 6 on the 4-yard gain.
Barron had Jason wrapped up like a small blanket when he caught that. I'm surprised he didn't get called for pass interference.
Well, he was right on the play. As soon as Jason caught the ball, they were right there. You can't play a guy going out for a pass any closer than number 44 did for the West Springfield Terriers. Second and 6 for the Agawam Brownies. Lanier once again in motion. Handoff to Vatsekis, trying to get to the outside. Does a nice job of breaking some tackles, and then finally stopped there by number 21, Steve Mayforth. First and 10 for the Brownies. The Agawam Brownies starting to move now in West Springfield territory and doing a decent job mixing up plays. And the Agawam Brownies will have it first and 10. Here you see Dan Moriarty talking to Coach Beccarelli, getting a play as he heads back into the field of play. First and 10 for the Agawam Brownies. Dan Moriarty getting set to call the play from the line of scrimmage, and this his last game at Agawam High School. Hand off to Vatsekis, right up through the middle. Vatsekis, and he hit head on by number 50, Eric Fenton. It's going to bring up second down and 9 for the Brownies.
Is that Eric Fenton or Brooke Wally hit just now?
Same thing. Might as well just say that it was the same thing.
Didn't seem to budge.
No, he didn't move whatsoever. Second down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup by Jason Vatsekis. No score here in the first quarter of action at Harmon Smith Field. Happy Thanksgiving to all our viewers out there as Vatsekis gets the pitch out, picks up decent yardage, and then finally dropped by 21 Steve Mayforth and number 24 Sean Lyman, and I think he'll be about a yard short depending upon where they spot the ball. It'll bring up third and 1 for the Agawam Brownies.
Big convention going on the sideline here with Dan Moriarty, Coach Vic, Coach Geiger, and Coach Boyle. Got to be fast. Third.
Third and 1 for the Agawam Brownies now as they're looking to get onto the scoreboard in their second offensive possession of this game thus far. Agawam marching down the field on their first offensive possession, 81-yard gain by Moriarty, and then the 27-yard miss by Brian Anderson. The Terriers couldn't move on their offensive possession after the nice hit by number 12, Bob Magistri, and the pickup by 60, Chris DeMastri on the fumble recovery, or excuse me, number 63 picking up the fumble recovery.
So right now, Frank, we have the end of the quarter, and I want my hot chocolate. So we're going to take a small break and be right back in just a moment.
Back here at Harmon Smith Field, some of the large crowd that has gathered here at Harmon Smith Field for the annual Turkey Day festivities. The rivalry between the Agawam Brownies and the West Springfield Terriers. First quarter is history as we are 0-0. You're watching Agawam Sports Week. Frank Andrus, Frank Disco, Dan Schenefield, and Bob Newman in the booth. And the Brownies will have it 1st and 10 after the break.
Hey, Danny, thank you, or excuse me, Bobby. Thanks very much for the chocolate. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. It took a while, but I got him. But I want to change my seat, though. Dan already spilled his all over.
How did you manage to get to the booth that quick? That's what I want. You got connections over there?
We know people here.
Okay. So 1st and 10 for the Agawam Brownies. Moriarty over the center, getting set to call the play from the line of scrimmage. Once again, Steve Lanier in motion. And a nice play by Steve Lanier as he made a nice hot move, finally knocked down by 88, Mike Balboni, and number 24, Sean Lyman. Pick up a 6, 2nd and 4.
It's interesting, Frank. On the snap count, I don't know whether one or both bands were playing, so I'm quite sure the players couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, it's very tough to hear up here with the crowd on top of it. And, of course, you've got both bands playing their hearts out, so I don't know how they can hear anything out there.
Basically standing room only about the goalposts. Everything else is about 4 deep along the sidelines.
2nd and 4 for the Brownies, pitched out or handed off to Vatsekis. Vatsekis getting across the right-hand side, right into your camera. Vatsekis goes in untouched. Touchdown, Agawam Brownies.
Excellent play here. I'm really happy to see Agawam move the ball the way they did, Frank. After Bobby Majestri's big play, they came back and they did what they had to do. They moved the football and sure enough scored. Great play.
Well, I'll tell you, Bob Magistri started things off for the Agawam Brownies. That could be a key play somewhere down the line in this game. In any event, the Agawam Brownies on a nice play by Jason Vatsekis and some great blocking by the Agawam interior line put the Brownies on top 6-0 as we await the Anderson kick. And the kick is up, and the kick is good, and the Agawam Brownies lead this contest 7-0 at Harmon Smith Field. Back here at Harmon Smith Field, the Agawam Brownies on top 7-0 over the West Springfield Terriers on a nice skirt by number 44, Jason Vatsekis, and then the point after attempt good by Brian Anderson, and that's where we are here, a little huddle on the sideline as Anderson will get set to kick off to the Terriers. And the key thing, Bobby, was the hit by Bob Magistri and then the 63 fumble recovery by Jeff Campbell.
Without a doubt, I'll tell you, really impressed by the way Agawam just moved that football. They really came out. They mixed their plays up well. They used their key running backs, and sure enough, TD Agawam, and they lead this football game 7-0. But it's very important now, Frank, that the defense comes out, does their part. And if they can shut down West Springfield now and Agawam gets possession of the ball, we're going to see a real good football game here.
Well, yeah, as right you could be, because it'll be a big lift for the defense with the score being 7-0, and they want to maintain that lead for their offense. We're underway. Brian Anderson with the kick, taken there by 14, Randy Miller, very dangerous Randy Miller, trying to follow the wedge, and the ball pops loose. And the Terriers recover. A nice hit there by the special teams, and that was caused by number 43, Marty Giroux, and the fumble recovery picked up by the Terriers, 72, Dan Hickey on the ball, and the Terriers will have it 1st and 10.
Boy, that would have been a big play right there, Frank. If they recovered that fumble, that would have really changed this football game around.
Oh, it certainly would. And the special teams really doing the job for the Agawam Brownies thus far. Terriers 1st and 10 now, and hand it off to 14. Randy Miller straight up the middle, finally knocked down 83. Brian Pellegrino also near number 1. Bob Kunkel, pickup of 8. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Terriers.
I can tell you one thing, I bet you no one's cold on that field right now.
No, I'd have to say that they're pretty heated up about this time. Of course, Danny, you don't look too heated up right about now.
No, I'm fine.
2nd and 2 after the nice gain by Randy Miller. And the Terriers will look to get back into this contest. Brownies leading 7-0. Handoff 24. Sean Lyman across the right-hand side. Knocked down there by